Welcome back to Starfish Sea Fishing. Today we're going to be making a rough ground rig. I use this rig for kelpie ground, really rough ground where I'm after big fish, but the chances are I'm going to lose the lead or the gear nearly every other cast. It can be quite frustrating. This rig uses very minimal components. I think it's only about 3 or 4 components to make. It's got an attached on rotten bottom system which works really well. It's basically a dongle rig, but it's not the dingle dongles that you've been seeing, or the dingle pennel pulley, or the what might as well be a hair rig pennel pulley. This is a proper dongle rig for fishing rough ground. So it's not what you've seen before, it's slightly different. It uses minimal components, as I say, and keeps gear loss and tackle loss to a minimum. So we'll get on the components and we'll get the rig made. So the first thing I'm going to do with the snud line is make what's called a perfection loop. So pull about 10 inches of tag off, make one loop, a large loop, make another loop behind that loop, a medium sized loop, and then make another very small loop through both loops. So you've got 3 loops. Pull the middle loop through the large loop until it clinches down like so. Wet it and tighten it up. Chop your tag off. So you've got one loop like that. So the idea with this rig is to use as little as components as possible, because you know you're going to be losing the gear, so you don't want to lose anything expensive. No point making fancy rigs up. This is the type of rig you want. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add we'll add a little aero bead. Add a little aero bead to the line, so we pull that through. Put a little aero bead on, like so. I'm going to put a little crimp on as well, because I'm using 60 pound, 80 pound snud line. Put a little crimp on as well, like so. I'm going to crimp that together. I use my favourite crimping tools for this. Pull that through. Set the crimp where we want it. Give it a nice crimp. And we've got one more bead. I'm going to put one more crimp on here as well. Just remember, this is 80 pound line, so there's no problem with the crimps at all. Stud lines on this rig have to be quite strong. I'll explain why as the rig goes along. I'll then put another crimp and crimp that tight using these. Okay, so that's what my bait's going to get binded together to. So now we're going to apply the hook. So you've got a loop and some crimps. The next thing I need to do is attach a hook to this. I'm going to use a knotless knot, and I'm going to use a Kintaro mustard circle and a 6/0. I'm going to be targeting bullus with this rig and some conger eels, so a 6/0 circle hook. Take the opposite end of the snud line, place the hook through backwards and bring it down. Lay it down to where you want the size of the bait to be. Now I'm going to use what's called a knotless knot. That's about right for one. I'm going to be using half a joey mackerel, so that's about right. So to do the knotless knot, go over 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to bring the tag end back through the back of the hook and pull it tight. And that's what we call the knotless knot. So that's what the rig looks like. So at the present moment in time, we've used 2 components really. So on the other end of the line, we're going to be attaching a Seaglow stainless steel swivel. Take one of these. We're just going to do whatever knot of your choice, grinner knot, uni knot, whatever you want to do. I just do 3 times. I come back through the loop and I go back up the loop 4 times. Wet it, pull it tight. Trim the tag end off. So this is your snud line, a loop, a crimp, a hook and a swivel. So here's the first part of the rig, the snud line. The base attaches to the end. You've got a circle hook and a swivel, and I've got about 3.5 foot of snud line. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to attach a rig body to this, but it's not actually a rig body. The whole rig body is actually a bottom bottom. I'm going to show you how to apply that. Okay, so we've got our snud line. For the next part of this rig, you're probably going to think I've got a screw loose here, but it'll all be explained in a minute. I'm going to take a little oval round leg clip, put it through the bottom of the swivel. So I've got a swivel and a small round clip like so. Now I'm going to attach some line to this. So I'm going to take a good length, and the length of this line is only £18. This is the rig body. I know you think I'm mad, but when you see the rig work, you'll understand why I'm using this. So £18 line, this has got to be twice the length of the snud line. So we'll attach that to the clip. Any knot you want, grinder knot, whatever, doesn't matter, do what you feel comfortable with. I'll just do a knot I like to do. Chop the tag end off. Now with the rig body, it's got to be longer than the snud line itself. Considerably longer, about 7 or 8 inches longer. So we'll chop that off because that's where I want it. In the centre of your £18 line, you're going to do a simple half hitch and another simple half hitch. Okay, so you've got 2 little half hitches in the rig body. At the end of this, we're going to attach an imp. Just a simple basic imp. Just attach that straight onto your £18 line. You'll see how this rig works in a minute. Pull that down, shove your tag end off, and that's basically it. So this, I'm going to show you how this works now. It's a tangled mess, but you can see the components I've used here. A swivel, a round clip, a hook and an imp. That's it. Okay, so you've got your lead, an imp, you've got a long length of £18 line, a couple of little half hitches in there so it breaks off. That's attached to a little round leg clip like that, and that's attached to a swivel that attaches to your main line. Then you've got your rig body that's £80 line that comes down to your circle hook, and this is your lead clip. So what happens now is very simple rigs. I mean, you don't mind losing these. There's no tackle loss here at all. They haven't took you more than 10 minutes, 5 minutes to make up. Basically, attach that loop straight into your imp, pull your body up, until the whole rig, this 18-pound line, sort of break away, goes all loose like so. Now all the pressure on your cast is on your 80-pound snud line, straight through. As soon as it releases, it comes off like so. Your lead drops to the seafloor. That is now your rotten bottom. Your main line is attached to your snud line, and what happens is this gets snagged up, that snaps off, and you're left with the fish on the snud line with no lead. But I guarantee, with the half hitches in there and the 18-pound line, as long as you're fishing 25-30 pound on top of that, you're going to break that snud line, no problem at all. So there are quite a few variants of the dongle rig. This is the rough ground version. It is not a pennel pulley. If you want to do that, what the lad's doing on the pennel pulley, where they have a piece of braid here, it's basically, that's a dingle dangle rig. Basically a dingle dangle pulley, I think it's the correct name, or a hair rig pulley. This is a dongle rig. You can still do the same with this. You could attach another bit of wire there, put a round crimp on to go into your imp. That would then be a dingle dangle dongle. Absolutely brilliant rig name terms we have here, but I just like to do it fixed, simple as that. It makes the tackle so much easier. Just clip it straight into your imp, bring it down. You've got your setup like so. So there were various versions of this. Some people like to put another clip down here to put the rotten bottom onto. I don't think it's necessary. I think that's fine the way it is. As long as that rotten bottom is longer than your snud line, all the pressure of your cast is on your snud line to your imp. This 18-pound line here has no other effect apart from being a rotten bottom. So when it hits the floor, it releases. The rotten bottom sinks to the sea floor. Your main line is attached to that swivel, and the snud line is hopefully attached to the fish. The fish picks the bait up, the line gets snagged, as you know it will, because you're on that kind of ground where you know you're not going to get anything back. This snaps and you're left with the fish attached to your main line. It's a very good way. The only downside with this rig is I wouldn't fish this over clean ground, because on the way in of reeling in, you end up where this will go into any snag it finds. It will snag up, but you will be able to break out of it. As long as your main line is heavier than this 18-pound line, you put a couple of weak links in there, a couple of half hitches, it will snap out and you will end up getting your gear back. And while you're fishing rough ground, it takes 5 minutes to just attach another little rotten bottom to it and an imp, and that's all you've lost really. So it keeps your tackle loss totally to a minimum. It's a great rig for rough ground fishing, the dongle rig.